Gazebon Gaming with another video. This video will be about the Burning Crusade again. Yes, I know. The reason I'm making all these videos about the Burning Crusade is that I'm just so hyped about the fact that we are going to see the reopening actually of the Dark Portal to Outland. And this video will be about not whether it's going to happen or not, we all know it's going to happen, but how Blizzard should treat the opening to Outland. I think it's very, very, very important for Blizzard to understand that some changes are maybe necessary to make the Burning Crusade worthwhile. I think it would be a good idea if Blizzard would release Draenei and Blood Elves during the pre-patch of the Burning Crusade. So not at the moment the Burning Crusade releases, no, at the pre-patch of the Burning Crusade. Let's say 4 weeks before the Burning Crusade comes out, you're able to choose a Draenei or a Blood Elf, level him up or her up until level 58, 59, 60. Yeah, I think you need to be level 58 to get through the Dark Portal. I think we want people to get to that level before the game releases. So we have a healthy amount of Shamans on the Alliance side and a healthy amount of Paladins on the Horde side when the Dark Portal opens. So that's one change I really would like to see. I think Blizzard should maybe make a survey about this, or, you know, just think about it. Blizzard, I hope you see this video. This is a very, very important change I want Blizzard to make when it comes down to the Burning Crusade. Second point, the phases of the tier content needs to be spread out, Blizzard. What do I mean by that? Apparently, in the Burning Crusade, it was possible, if you were good enough, to just go and kill tier 5 content right off the bat. Like in Classic WoW, they came out with only with Molten Core and Onyxia's Lair. Molten Core gave tier 1 and Onyxia's Lair gave tier 2 head. That's all you could get. Okay, that's healthy. Why? Because first, you get the first influx of players. Yep, everybody gets tier 1, everybody gets a tier 2 helmet, and 2 or 3 months later, you can get tier 2. So everybody gets caught up, everybody is there, everybody's at the same level, and then you release more. But in the Burning Crusade, apparently, tier 4 and tier 5 was released at the same time. So if you have guilds, and there will be guilds that are good enough, prepared enough, skilled enough, especially in this new era of information, people are way better at the game, people are way better at preparing, communicating. There will be guilds that will just skip Karazhan and will just go right into Tempest Keep and get tier 5. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Just let people just hammer on Karazhan for the first, I don't know, month, 2 months before they release the tier 5 content. I think that's a very, very important change Blizzard should make when it comes down to the Burning Crusade. Third, very important point. This is not really a change. What they did in the past is they nerfed the heroic dungeon difficulty by 30%. And literally just 30% health, 30% damage cut off. Because it apparently was too hard for the player base back then, right? They should not ever implement this nerf in the Burning Crusade Classic re-release in 2021. People got better at the game. People need a challenge. Keep it how it is. Make it as hard as possible. Just give people the feeling that you have to work for the items. No nerfs, nothing. It would be beautiful if the Burning Crusade would feel as hard as back then. I'm even for making it even harder. I don't like that you can just form a pug with random doofuses and clear content like it's nothing. I want people to feel incentivized to team up, organize well in order to get gear, to be rewarded. I don't want no free handouts, nothing. Everything needs to be a challenge in order for the world to feel big and real. So no nerves, nothing. One very important point as well. I think we're at the 5th point now. I wrote down. Apparently, back in the day, I did not know this from back in the day because I never played Paladins. And when I played TBC, what year was that? 2007, 2008. I was 18 years old. I was not really at a pro level in the game. I was just playing. I didn't even know this was a problem, to be honest. But now I heard that there is a huge imbalance between the Horde and the Alliance. And this imbalance, the heart of this imbalance comes from the fact that the Horde Paladins and the Alliance Paladins have different seals. And apparently Seal of Blood, that is the seal you get if you're a Blood Elf Paladin, does way more damage than the Seal of the Martyr that the Draenei's get, making a Horde pretty much the only viable choice for PvP. That sounds really bad. Like, I did not even know there was such a big imbalance in TBC. It sounds like a huge mistake. Why not just give the Horde and the Alliance the same seals? It's the same class. Just let them fight it out with the racials. I think the only cool thing about World of Warcraft when it comes to race is the racials, but don't give more seals and stuff that are stronger and not strong. It really imbalances the game. There probably will not be an incentive to play Draenei Paladin and go PvP against Blood Elf Paladins if you know that their Paladins are objectively better. That's a no-no, Blizzard. Balance it out. Balance the Paladins, and everybody will be happy. And now we're at our 6th point. It's about flying. I think they I think they increased the normal flying speed from 60% to 150% in Wrath of the Lich King, later Wrath of the Lich King. Knowing Blizzard, they would maybe implement this in the Burning Crusade to make people feel that they're moving faster. Just keep flying, normal flying, 1,000 gold. So the normal flying you get for 1,000 gold at a 60% speed. Keep it like that. It makes the world way bigger. Very important. Don't change that. And obviously, the last thing on my list. Please, Blizzard. This was the downfall of early Classic WoW. The re-release of Classic, I mean. And that's layering. I understand that during the leveling phase, if everybody's leveling, it's kind of chaotic. Just do it with dynamic spawns. Dynamic respawns, guys. No, don't go for layering ever again. Layering makes sure that people simply get a legal cheat to get more nodes, to get out of PvP fights, to get more gear from dungeons. They can just repeat bosses by layering it. It's really bad. What happened in the beginning of Classic in August and September, people figured out that this layering thing was controllable. If you had like an alt on a different layer, you can just let your alt invite somebody, get them over. You could have one alt on each layer and you can just manipulate all layers, and you had like all these dimensions, and if you were good at it, you could just jump to another dimension and get that rich thorium vine you got in the first dimension, and the rich thorium vine is also in this dimension. So every time you found like a black lotus or a rich thorium vine, you could copy it 5 or 6 or 7 times, because there were 7 layers, especially on big servers like Ferlina. It was a mess. Some people got extremely rich off of it. It's a mistake. Some people could just jump out of PvP fights and stuff. Never do it again. So that's about it. This is what I want to see for the Burning Crusade. If you guys have more changes or things that should never change from the Burning Crusade, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. I probably missed a lot of them. Some very essential ones, maybe class-based ones, more than only the Paladins. Things that would ruin the game if they're still in, or things that should never change. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Like the video, and subscribe, and obviously follow me on Twitch. Peace.